I would like to get in, since we have An0maly here. An0maly is getting a lot of...
Why do you hate the Jews?
No. Let's start with Trump, and then we'll get into how he hates Jews.
No, that's not true. But
I know, I'm kidding.
I'll defend myself against the libelous slander.
But first of all,
not
this
from
is
you,
unique for me because we had Ron White in here, who's a never Trumper.
Yeah, he told me he's a never Trumper.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed.
But it's fine. You don't have to believe. You don't have to agree with us.
They got their points of view. I don't give a shit.
Fine.
I'm not the Gestapo.
But I'm
not a Democrat.
A lot of people got mad that listened to the show that we would have a never Trumper on. So I imagine when this episode drops Thursday and An0maly's here, I would say you're classified as a DeSantis supporter right now.
You're probably
don't
off
defend
that.
it. Just is that accurate? But people say that?
I mean, people say everything, but I would say I'm not a never Trumper. I like Trump. I made a song about him. I voted for him in 2020. I would still, if it comes down to him and Biden, I'm voting for Trump. I'm not Bill Mitchell. I'm not. No offense to the guy who's on here. I'm not a never Trumper. I'm pretty logical. I don't like the fact that people don't challenge Trump because I feel like people like him so much that he's very alpha and very businessman, and he's got a lot of stuff going on, and I feel like he knows that he can get away with anything with his base in a way where like a DeSantis gets called out more. And I feel a little bit betrayed by Trump because I feel like he sided with the pharma swamp, and I'll make my case for it, right? I supported him for years. When he got into office, he was a skeptic of the injections, we'll just call them, that we don't know. He knows about stuff. He actually called RFK. RFK always talks about it, how he wanted to make a vaccine safety council. And then Trump, when his inauguration came around, he took over $100 million of donations, which are the same as all politicians, kind of bribes. He took $1 million from Pfizer, then he hired Alex Azar for HHS, who was the Eli Lilly executive, and then Scott Gottlieb for FDA. So I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened, it's not like Trump's outside and they like bamboozled him. I feel like he turned on his own intuition and kind of like sided with the swamp. And I want to say this too. I saw a Sean Hannity interview where Sean Hannity said, "Why'd you hire Christopher Wray?" And Trump said, "I'll do my shitty Trump impression," because it just feels weird reading Trump stuff without it. But okay, fine. I'll just
do it. No, go ahead.
He said, "I'm an honorable guy. You know, the Democrats liked him. Chris Christie told me to hire him, and I listen to Chris Christie often." And it's like, that's why you chose him? Because you listen to Chris Christie? Like, I just feel like he's a really funny guy.
I like he called Chris Christie a fat pig.
No, he said, don't call him a fat pig.
Don't call him a fat pig, sir. That's disrespectful.
Trump is the funniest candidate.
He's so funny. That's why they hate him, because he's funny.
He is funny.
We're going to talk about that.
But that's why I think I think that I believe in we the people. I believe that if enough people stand firm on certain topics, they matter. Like, for instance, when Obama got into office, he pretended to be against gay marriage because he couldn't get into office. Like, everybody wanted it. Now, Trump waves the gay flag because no one cares like they used to. It's not as, like, you know, people don't have that conviction. So the culture, and I know you talk about mind control stuff, like they control the culture and they shift both parties in the same direction. So it's like even when you get in, they still get their way a lot because they've shifted the mindset of the population. So I feel like Trump's done a lot of good stuff, calling out the media stuff. But I do feel like people give him a pass on stuff, and it almost takes power away from we the people to the point where, like, if he hires someone bad or does something weird, people will be like, "Oh, it's 1,000D chess." And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they got to him a little bit and just like...
Or he made a mistake.
Yeah, and also I do think that he is he doesn't hire very well. I'll just say that. You know?
I have to agree with that. I'm a big Trump supporter.
Well, I'm going to come in. I don't know how much I'm going to say.
Is this the UFC cage fight right here? Or?
No.
No, I respect what he's saying. I think a lot of people agree with him.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. I hear it and read it all the time.
Nobody's perfect. He's not a fucking deity.
But what if...
1,000D chess.
I'm just saying, what if there's a couple of wrinkles in there that you're not seeing?
Could be.
Yeah.
Like anything specific, or are you just throwing it out like rhetorically?
I'm just throwing out what I do know because I like to read on the internet because, you know, I like to lay in bed and eat.
I also love the sentence, I want to talk about what I do know because I read a lot on the internet is funny to me.
I want to ask you guys a question because I like as far as with the Q stuff. There's this book called.
We're not allowed to say the 17th letter,
F.
so we say 17.
F and on. You've heard of F and on?
No, what's that?
It's just it's a left wing conspiracy. You trust the plan and you just keep voting for Joe Biden no matter how old he is, and like he's not even alive, and you just keep writing him.
All right, so let's say 17. Can you say 17?
Well, I think they'll allow it. I don't know
why 17 is such a great number? Now I'll get really creepy with you.
Let's go.
That's when you're safe from.
Let's get Stephen King with it.
17 is the Book of Esther.
Oh, well, hit that
which is
weekend.
all about. Let me take a hit of this
let's
here.
go. Here we go. We're about to get real Jewy up in here.
I love it. Let's go.
Sometimes people are like, this podcast, Roseanne gets a little wacky at times. So,
It doesn't even work.
I edit a lot of this stuff out. This is what it's really like.
It's a stream of consciousness. it's a flow, right?
Yeah.
You just go. You're just going.
Yeah, is it not working? Let me see.
I don't think it works.
Blow out.
I see the smoke.
You do?
Yeah.
Blow out.
Okay, let me see if I'll blow it out.
Oh yeah, it works, dude. Oh fuck. The rest of this podcast is fucked.
Your cities are made of wood, and this is what you got inside.
We were talking about the 17th.
Well,
letter.
yeah. Can I?
So
yeah.
17.
You guys talk.
So that's our code, 17.
Okay.
Well, I'll
What were
say
you
this
saying?
because I want to get your opinion because I think that there have been like things can inspire you. They could go different ways. I'm not a hater. I've never been a hater. Where
Let me finish
Go
before
ahead.
Jake and his fat 10-pound ass that I had to squeeze out
At least
of my
you're staying
uterus.
on 10 pounds. It was gaining a pound every time, so I'm glad you're staying at 10.
10-pound ass
When
I
you were
had to
born?
push out when he was born, and such hemorrhoids did I
All
get.
penis.
He looks like he's in good shape now. You've been working out.
Well, he
That's
was
what I
a
do.
big, fat pain
Can
in
I
the
say no
ass.
homo or is that
to
we're not in
birth.
the NBA, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to
To
be
birth
pure
Jake
homo.
was a huge pain in the ass.
Literally, her butthole came out of her
Yeah,
body.
my butthole retracted because of trying to push his.
Was it worth it?
10-pound ass.
wasn't the last.
Is it worth it?
Oh my God! I'm so ashamed of you.
Now
for
you got a
saying
beautiful granddaughter.
Yeah.
You know, struggle makes.
But I'm telling you, he shouldn't tell me anything. He should not ever, whatever.
No. I tell her dude, let me tell you a story real quick and do not interrupt because it's so funny. Last week, we did Alex Stein, right? And we were in here and she interrupted the poor bastard like 1,000 times. So I said to her, Mom, please stop interrupting Alex Stein. And she goes, who cares what he has to say? First of all, this is the podcast guest. The guy drove 3.5. Hold on. Alex Stein drove 3.5 hours here, but shit you not. 2 weeks before, his Jew lawyer fucked up, and he showed up at our house when we were doing Timcast. And so he's
We
the
weren't
second
even
time he's
here.
driven. So he's already been in the car at this point a total of 10 hours. And she says, who cares what he says? So then after the show, she goes in the kitchen.
Knew it was a joke.
No, after we go in the kitchen, I say, Mom, you can't interrupt our guests. And she goes,
That's fun. That's
I'm
funny,
a
though.
genius, you suck, or whatever she said. And I was like, no, it's really, really
That's
important.
why I wrote you a rap song though to flex on everyone.
No,
You know
but
what I'm
hold
saying?
on. Here's the funniest thing. So I put the episode up on YouTube and edit the best I can. And half of the comments are like, Roseanne, please stop interviewing Alex Stein. So to your credit, she did come and apologize to me and tell me.
Okay.
I do think I interrupted him too much, but
You
I
did.
was very excited to talk to him. And I forgot we were filming. That's how I am at dinner parties. I realize I'm a terrible bore.
No, you're not a bore.
At dinner parties, I'm
just-
always changing the subject and streaking things
That's
out.
not boring when you jump around. It's actually really fun. People love that. It's just when they're mid-sentence, our guest, and you jump in.
Well, that's when I like to do it, is when they're just before the punchline.